Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Jahan, 20! 52. Come on, the ball. Check 24. Check 24.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Hey, check 24. Check 24. Watch the 50. Where's 52? Watch 52. 52.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Tight dog.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
General West. Good route here.
Throwing is Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Receiver.
3rd and long for Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kenny Clark has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
It's taken to the 26. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Inside. Hey, echo.
Now Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Hey, shoot.
Rodgers now to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
And the Packer 1st down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Go to 50. Go.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Over.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Kenny Stills, incomplete. It's 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
Hey, Mike 7. Check 55, Mike. They can't hang with us. Check 55.
And again, it's Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. We're scoreless after one. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Inside.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This one fielded at the 5. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Jahan, where are you? 51. Lucky 50. Greystone, travel. Safe. Switch. Two.
They run again on first down. Cook. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Cook following the penalty. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Whip. Hey.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Morris Claiborne makes the play defensively.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down.
Hey, no, easy. Hey,
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. The Packers going to use... one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
318, go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, Alpha, get right. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Tighten up.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
26. Hey, Delta.
To throw again. Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
First down and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Slam.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Leave it, 48. Check that.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It's 2nd down.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, pick on the right. Check 52.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
54 miles. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Scan 300. Scan 300. Inside.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers going deep here for Stills. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while. What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass. Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
Get 300. Get 300.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead. Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play. So might as well have not even had the penalty. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. After the penalty, it's Jones. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On second and 12, Rodgers to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time for Stills, and that takes us from second to third down. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there. Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right? It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Back to the 50. 50. Target. Mike 5-5. Mike 50.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter. Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one. Has that happened to you before? No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Cook. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move lateral. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it? Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour? Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what,
you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They come up in an offset eye. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A 5-yard touchdown run. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 4.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Cook running right. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And a give this time to the tailback. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
3rd and 12.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the 48.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. They got the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, Haywood.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Push him back. Pilot, 64, weak. Small.
Throwing is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Check Mike 54. What is 50? Hey, you block over here.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now Jones. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the 8-yard line.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Check 31. Check 1. 26. Bravo. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Too low. Hey, one set. Check Mike 54.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Kenny Stills, his 14th touchdown now on the year. Now the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
This fielded at the 2. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing, Cousins, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 15-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And they try to sweep to Jones. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
Check 6 guys. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm not ready.
Rodgers now to throw on 3rd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
The kick by Bryant is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Cousins on 1st down. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. One last shot now for Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? make sure the quarterback is harassed, this type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Packers, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, well, this loss means they'll have one more shot to avoid the dreaded 0-16. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.